our amazing speakers for the day. What an honor and privilege it is to listen to us, to speak to us, not just from a talking perspective, but from a showing and living by example perspective. We appreciate your time today. So, do we have questions? We have, right? Okay, so we have from Nikki, and anybody can, if feel free to
Yes,
raise.
I wanted to say that you can let them
Yeah.
know too that they
Yeah.
mute and by indicating, and then you call them up.
Okay, that's fine. Please, if you also want to ask a question without having to type, some of us don't really like typing. I know that. Please raise your virtual hand and I will just bring you up to ask your questions. And I see a hand already. So hold on to that hand. Please, if you have a question, let me just see your hand so I count time. Because we're having a good time, we also need to make sure that we work effectively with the time that we have for this particular meeting. All right, when talking about role modeling, sometimes you keep repeating same thing to them without any changes. Examples, like to eat in the room, wash clothes in the room, not cleaning their spaces and all of that. What can one do? Who wants to go first to answer this question for us? Pastor Lubimi?
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back again.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Looking at the question, I'm sure that I'm just trying to guess the ages that these children will be for you to be repeating the same thing to them. So, but for me, irrespective of the age, there's a difference between telling people not to do things. When you tell them, don't do this, don't do that, it's different from when you lay down some ground rule that this is not just acceptable. So I think you've been telling them, don't do this, don't do that, but you need to let them know that when you do this is what will happen. You see, sometimes when people don't, people do things when they feel that you can't do anything to them. And that's the way our children take us for granted. Mommy is not going to say anything. So I can continue to do it. Especially when it comes to food. You are not ready to eat. If you are ready to eat, you come to the proper place and eat. So food is not allowed into the room. If you want to eat, the dining is there. So you just have to, it's because you allow them take it in. So you put down that rule now, nobody. And I also want to believe that you also, just like my brother said earlier, modeling. They don't see you not eat if they don't see you eat at another place, but the place that has been assigned for eating, they will also eat there. And those are the things. This is something you can even write in the kitchen for them to see, so that they will know that there's consequences when you go into the room to eat. You see, that's why the boundaries comes in. They have to be responsible when they do the wrong thing, when they do what you have told them not to do, to not cleaning your room. You're not cleaning your room. I'm not buying you another thing you're asking me to buy when it comes to clothes or something or shoe, because the one I've bought, you're not taking care of them properly. I'm talking about what works for me. But I think it's something that can work for some of us. But you see, a lot of times we like to leave them to just do as they like, and that's one of the things that is not a helping situation. So by the time he's asking you for something, you're not giving it because of a rule that you have put down and that has not been obeyed. They would do something about it themselves. That's the way I say it. I don't know if somebody else wants to have.
Like that. If they catch you, imagine telling a child, please don't eat in the room, and then you carry your own food. And true story, confession time. My children not to eat in the room, don't take food to the room. But once in a while, maybe I'm that tired more day. My husband is smiling, he knows what I'm saying. And I take the food upstairs. Let me tell you something. My daughter will be the first person to ask me, Mommy. And I know I've shared some things with Thais when it comes to our children, the similarities that we have in some of our children. She would be the first person to say, ah, mommy. I thought he said nobody should take food to the room. Oh, nobody will tell you to. And I will just find one thing to say. I say, okay, please just allow me to. I just want to eat this once in the room. True story. We must model what we are trying to teach the children. Okay, so any more? Anybody wants to chime in? Could you see?
I think she did a fantastic job. Yes, the answer was quite on point.
Fabulous. I thought so too. Okay.
Just
All
to
right.
add, I just want to point back to the beaver example that I gave.
Okay.
You can't give up. You just have to keep saying it. Don't get tired of saying it, and keep saying it and keep showing the way by what you do. Eventually, it will pay off.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love that. Thank you so much.
Let me just say something too.
Go ahead.
And then another way is how we say things also matter. And how we say things and how we go about it. Like me, to shout a lot. But my children taught me how not to shout for them to hear something that I'm saying. You know, my own is I'll just be shouting. My children will say, we're not hearing anything. You know, at that point, over time, I end that. They say, when you are the only thing we are hearing is the noise.
Exactly.
But when you say it quietly, Mommy, we're not deaf now, we hear you. Our method of conveying the message to is also very important.
Very, very important. Thank you for highlighting and thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable, man. Because it's important. If we don't admit some of these things, we won't change it. I said something earlier that the change starts with us actually as parents. We think it's the children. It's actually our character that needs to be refined. And it's actually us that we need to grow first before the children. Yes, Pixie Chikebra, I'm going to be bringing you up, but I've got some questions here as well. So all the questions online, just hold on to it. I just want to bring her up for her questions. Okay, where is her hand? I thought, where are you? Pixie Chikebra.
Just disappeared.
Are you there? Go ahead, please. Ask your question.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so thank you for this session. Sorry, my video is going on. So I'll just, there we are. So I've been here with my 18-year-old and she's listening into a lot of what's been said and affirming and agreeing. And I feel like I'm really on the hot spot. But when Bro Chidi was talking about role modeling again, she was like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of pressure on you, Mom. I was like, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, you know? And she's like, and I actually told her, thank you for recognizing that's a lot of pressure to role model this. So my question is, so how do we deal with that pressure as parents to almost always be perfect in front of our kids? And then when we fail, you know, how do we recover from that?
Fantastic. I love that question. I love Okay, go ahead.
So it's like every other thing as a Christian, we can't do it by. That's why we need to remain connected to the source, because it can be get tired. You so sometimes you see they'll come and try why you do this, but looking at the other big as of life. So sometimes your father and what has moved where you are today. So those things come like natural you, like second nature to you. It's just like telling, because you're a Christian, we're playing with lies. So you should not be under pressure to lie or not to lie. And so because as a Christian, God has put those values in you, it now helps you to live out that life that you want them to see. So that's just I say it. So because you're not telling them to do something that you have. It's possible that we didn't have the privilege as children when we were growing up enough. We are on a journey where God has helped us to build some of these values. And then the one that you have, you can show forth. And if there's anyone we're struggling with, it takes us back to source. So we go to God and God, please help me to do this part. So that's why I love reading 1 Corinthians 13, where it talks about the different acts of love. When you put that as a mirror in front of you, you see what you're doing. So you weigh yourself and say, God, please, this one, I'm not up to it. Help me. And when we pray in secret, God will reward us openly by helping us to live out that life. So that's the angle I'll look at it from. I don't know whether any other person has any other perspective with that.
Can I just add one thing to what he's trying to say? So, I think I know what this is trying to say. Let's give an example. You angrily say something.
Yes.
Am I speaking in my big sis? Like you angrily say something, throw in a word. Yeah,
you apologize and say,
okay, so I was waiting.
I missed it.
Exactly.
Because I did it, and then we take us start all over again. So even though we are trying to be role models, it doesn't mean that we are perfect. We are not perfect yet. None of us is perfect. So all of us are still work in progress.
Fantastic.
So when you make a mistake, you take a step back and
good. I wanted to draw that. I wanted to get you back to that. Could you see what you have to
okay, so Chidi had started very well. And I just want to add that there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable, nothing wrong, because marriage, nobody is perfect. So his point is recognizing that mom has a lot to do in putting up with all of this for me to get it. It means that once she's aware, I'm seeing the child who is aware, I'm seeing the child who is critical. So listen in and be able to hear just under how many 45 minutes of precision. And she was there to the raising our auntie. That's be vulnerable. Not like what Pastor Olubimi says, that she shouts. In fact, about 2 weeks ago, I had an episode on parenting, talking about how to do parenting without yelling. And I told him, I said, the buttons of parenting can push you to say things that are off, push you to shout. So what I mean, say you like don't recognizing a woman, you to recognizing that you are human. You were once that age too before you came up here. So let's see that you can fail, you can put up things and not be able to keep it 100%. And that's the kind of children we want to raise. So that when she also sleeps off somewhere, she'll realize that it's not a perfectionism kind of thing, but that there is authenticity. I fail, I rise. That's what we're saying. Don't stay there. So kudos once again to a child who can realize their involved. I mean, she's going to in helping you parent her better.
Very important.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Vulnerability is king. That's what I say all the time. If we can just note that vulnerability is king. There is no perfect parent. There is
especially in the place of where you are truly.
And the children need to see, because they would have seen that love from you, understand vulnerability when it comes, right? Because if it is that they've not seen you communicate to them from a place of love, whatever you're coming to be vulnerable with will also come. The vulnerability will even come at all, because hey, you're not speaking to them from a place of love, or they don't perceive that your correction or your discipline is coming from a place of love. So again, kudos to your wonderful daughter, Big Sis Chick, and I'm sure she's still listening. And please, she can continue to. And let me just say, as a 18-year-old or 19 or 20, I don't know how old she is at the moment, but the truth is, they actually become your ally in parenting at some point when you have other children. At that age, if you have other younger ones. So it depends on how you work with them. If you work with them effectively, they can support you in ensuring that the younger ones are also raised right. So for her to be doing this, I am particularly excited for her younger sister. So please, kudos. Thank you. I see your thumbs up, sis. Thumbs up.
And I can she just show me? Just a peep.
Exactly. Just say a little hello to this. Hello.
Just a
I know
peep.
her face, but I know. Just say a little hello to us.
Yes, today. Just a peep. You can run away.
A peep, a little. It's not very easy. This will be forcing them to be doing things like this. Why just a little face.
Yes, so
A little, just do like this will be okay. This is well, thank you for the hand. I need.
all right.
Welcome to the world. Thank you for that. Pastor Fred, I see your video on your camera. Why did you put on your camera? Anyways, good to see your faces. If you have questions, let us know. You can raise your virtual hand. I'll call you up for the question. But I have some online as well. You're ready. So
Okay.
Oje Chenemi P say, I joined late and I must say it was an awesome session from the last speaker. I'm not married, but I've been around married people for a while and tend to see a kind of dysfunction. These parents are actively working and often pressed for time. This is a really good question. They can barely balance the demands of providing guidance to their children, and the kids, including me, feel like is a charade of constant instructions, like in a barrack. I can't imagine. How can such people be helped? So he wants these parents to be helped because I feel those kids are just obeying because they do not want to offend their parents rather than see the right thing to do. Wow. That is a moment of a wow question. Who wants to go first?
Let's have Chidi.
Anybody?
I'll waiting for grandpa, but this one probably.
Pastor Lubiri. Yes, she's there. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, Pastor Luke.
Okay. Providing guidance for their children and people looking like this. Concerned with like the barrack. I think it's about a style of parenting.
Yeah.
It's about the style of parenting. It's looking more like an authoritarian thing to me. That all you just do is to pass all the instruction, and when it comes to authoritarian parenting, it's a style that is characterized by high demand from your children and low responsiveness from your own hand. They have high expectation for their children, yet they provide little feedback. So I think it's not an healthy way of parenting. It's better we like the authoritative. The authoritative is different from the authoritarian. The authoritative is from the boss. You are also responsible. You allow them make contribution. You are not just only the one doing all the thing. So when you make it authoritarian, it has its own disadvantage later on in life. It's difficult for children that you parent this way to be your friend because you don't get to a stage in life that your children will more like look like your friends. Especially when maybe they've gone out of the house, married or something. So instead of they will come back to you, they make it to you as friends. But when you are, authoritarian is like this high-handedness way of parenting. But the moment that's why you see those kind of children, the moment they leave the house, it's something else entirely. So I think it's about the method of parenting. So they need to change their style of parenting. Because when you tell a child this is, and the child is asking you, why should I do this way? If they do a lot, and the reason why they have to do it that way, that reason sticks to them. So they will know that, oh, I am doing it not because mommy said I should do it like that, but because it is the right thing for me
Fantastic. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Okay, go ahead.
Just to add, thank you very much, Asolubimi. So I want to guess that those parents are living in Lagos, where you have to go out very early and come back very late. So that means that they are under pressure, and the pressure is getting which part. However, I want to also guess that they don't work weekends. So under this situation, my suggestion would be for them to you know that they say that weekend is for when the family is in this kind of situation, you need to prioritize family time. That means that it's just like when some team bonding activities in the office to try to soften things so they can use the weekends for team until they stabilize, because they're under pressure. They need to do things. It's possible that they've not spent time to coach the parents, to mentor the parents. So I'll suggest that at weekends to try to bond with the kids and try to instill values in them so that the kids are not just being told what to do, but also convicted they need to do this. So that's what I wanted to add.
Could you see?
So I think this is a place to bring in the family board meeting.
Exactly.
For a family like this, where the children are feeling pressured, parents are going and coming, knowing what's going on in the house. That family board meeting we talked about is a good time family together. That's the parents. Find out how are we doing, where are we lacking, or where do you think we should improve. That's good. Trying to get of you are parenting or people that are under your care, try to find out how you need and how well you're doing or even how badly you're doing. It helps you direct your trainings, your care in the right way. Do you get? So that at the end of it, everything you do resonates with them because the data you are using came from them. Oh, mommy, I don't like the way you shout. I don't even like the way you don't take us out to anywhere. We just stay here. All we do is barak movement. Come, go, drop it, stand. Once you get that, you begin to now adjust as a parent. And like Chidi said, there will be need for a little adjustment. You can't really do without presence. So let them institutionalize family board meetings in the home. Call the children, let the children speak out. And it seems like you're not family somehow, because when I read your presence, you if you're older than the children in that meeting and say, this is what we need. We're not getting this level of love, we're not connecting. Can we connect better? Sometimes you may need to move out of the house, all of you, to go somewhere, not even an expensive place, somewhere else that you can just breathe and talk about things. And I'm sure little by little it will start getting better, because what I'm seeing there is presence. Presence is lacking. So they need to make some adjustment to increase the presence at home.
Fantastic. I love that. That board meeting is so important.
Yeah.
Bringing people, get them to talk, get them to express them, and be ready to take the feedback as a parent. We do that all the time in our house. It's not, we don't even have to wait for
Not to good time.
It has to be exactly. No, you have to be say thank you for the feedback, even if it's paining you on your inside, because you want change, because you want the interest of the children at heart. So if they tell you, oh, mommy, whatever it is, or daddy, you did this one or you did that one, you just take it in and then ask questions of how to move forward. So thank you, Coach Yusi, for bringing the dimension of board meeting. Pastor Obafemi Olumimi wants to say something, man.
Yes, I wanted to say something as we're just talking. Something came to my mind, and I don't know, maybe it might just be someone on this call this morning. You see, another thing I would like to talk about is parenting in diaspora. You know, you are here in Nigeria.
Yep.
And your children are out there. Yours is a different case because you are there with them. So I was in a meeting one time and they were now trying to teach us how to parent in diaspora. Now, a lot of parents in Nigeria, they just think that they can just leave their children abroad and say, oh, my sister, my friend, my whatever is their tidy and looking after them and all the rest of it. But those people don't do anything because some of them are also so busy that they don't even have time to watch their own children. The husband brother has this unit, same place. The guy out to school for 2 years and he didn't know. And he's supposed to be the guardian. But the boy comes to their house, even weekends, like everything is going on well in school and everything like that. Until the parents came, before they now saw that the guy had even left school for like 6. So when you have this, I will not say, like I said, I didn't know a lot of things in the beginning, but God just helped me. When my son gained admission and he was going to leave for the UK, I got one woman called me and told me and said, see, you can't just leave your child abroad alone. She told me, said, am I ready to do this? That it's not just only about paying the school fees. It's not just only about sending this thing. That when there is holiday, that what has helped her is what she's telling me. That during holidays, I should be ready for holiday time. If they're not going to come back to Nigeria to spend the holiday, I should be ready to go back and go and sit with them, especially when the two of them were there. That you're ready to go back and go and sit. That period of holiday is like we are family, we are bonding. If I know I will not be able to go, my husband will not be able to go, they have to come back to Nigeria. So we should keep the money for all those tickets aside as well. Very, very important. So to the extent that in my son's friends, they now know immediately they finish the exam today, they'll be telling him, we are sure your mom is landing tomorrow. So can we come for the egusi, the plantain and beans and everything? But I had to do that. In short, the reason why I left the industry was when my second son was going into uni. And leave for me to go with him. So I had to take compassionate leave to be able to go. But the next day I told myself, I can't go on because this work will finish. If I don't go myself, they will ask me to go one day. So if I've missed it with these children, where am I going? So all these things we need to, even when you're telling your children, you should be ready. You should be ready for the cost, for the sacrifice that is going to take.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
So much, Ma, for that practical experience. And we need to move quickly. You wanted to say something, Coach Lisa? I want to just move on.
No, I was commenting. I said, thank you.
It is indeed giving us practical perspective, very deep, not minding. Anyway, she's a gym mama, so there's nothing.
Family.
She's just getting.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just here to ensure that we get it really. So thank you so much for that. So we have 3 more questions, I suppose. I'm just going to give each one of us to take one of it so that we can wrap up quickly. At least 1:10 p.m., 10 minutes past 1, we are out of here. All right. So let me see this one. Thank you so much to all the speakers. My question would be why I understand role modeling and authoritative, if I may say, parenting. I want to know the best way doing this and still allowing every child grow with his or her own uniqueness. Sometimes those uniqueness were never in you as the parent. Fabulous. I think I understand a little bit of where you're going, because sometimes our children are not as even when you combine personalities as done, but they have this question. Like, she sees this question. Go ahead. I know why I'm saying you should take it. Very quickly.
Thank you. So beautiful question. And they were never really meant to have exactly your uniqueness or your talent or whatever thing that you have. God has made them differently. And that is how God expects that they bring that flavor here on earth. Also, my battery. So I think that as a parent, it's your duty to scout to know the talents that these children have. It's important because, like I said, God gave them those gifts so that when they come here on earth, they will use it to add values. So if you miss out as a parent, paying attention to understand the uniqueness of this child and helping to give it room for expression, then you are the one who is failing, not the child. So what do you do as a parent? One, pay attention to your child. How he goes about things. When Pastor Lubimi was talking, she said something about the child bringing home oranges at a time. And then repeatedly again, listen to another sermon where a pastor said something. What is constant in that child is that we're seeing a child who is empathic. We're seeing a child who has so much love. Even if he may not be able to do the expression of speaking about it, but you already know that this child has something to do with empathy, has something to do with empowering people. So when the time for schooling, career choice, and even marriage partner comes, if you're a parent who had paid attention from foundation till the time when he or she is ready to get married, you'll be in a position to be able to okay his choices and be able to guide and say, I think that area will be more favorable. Remember when you were this? Remember when you were like this? So paying attention to a child will help that child to be more expressive in the areas that you have seen strength. And like we say, always emphasize on the strength while help on the weakness. Nobody pays anybody for weakness. No company will employ you and begin to pay for weakness. They pay for your strength. So I usually advise parents to pay attention to the strength of a child so that that strength will grow to swallow the weakness, and then the person will add more value. And before you know it, one thing about this life is that when God is blessing us, the talents that you think the child has, he will draw other talents out of that child. And before you know it, a child who has love will be able to have an NGO, will become a philanthropist, will become empathic, will be somebody, a good teacher who will give love when he or she is teaching. So I implore you to pay more attention as you pray along, and then give room for expression. Don't be afraid that the child will fail. If the child is the type that always pays attention to details, don't say, your own is too much. Simple question they ask you now, you have said 100 things. Or say simple prayer for food, and the child is now doing anointing service. Pay attention. He may be a teacher of the word in the making. So I want you to be patient with the child to be able to cover and guide. Thank you.
Fantastic delivery. Emphasize on the strengths, downplay the weaknesses. I say that too all the time. Emphasize the strengths, downplay the weaknesses. Very important. Understand the uniqueness of every child, of each of your children. If you have 5, know that they are all different. Focus on them, and they don't all have to be like us. They have their own pathway. That scripture that talks about train up a child in the way it should go is not necessarily about, I don't want to go into all those deep scripture teachings and things like that, but it's not necessarily around teaching them the word of the Lord. It's about identifying the uniqueness of the child, where the child's what the child's pathway should be, and then walk the child into that, so that when they grow, they will not depart from that pathway. They will walk into it. So identifying those is really very important. Thanks again, Coach Isi. I want to ask this question. There are 2 questions, so I'll merge them together and I'll ask Mr. Chidi to answer them. Can parents not be both friends and parents? I think I used to talk about the stage where you can be a friend to your child, but I will leave that to us to imagine. But then the other question is, how do you deal with the good cop, bad cop dichotomy that exists between parents? That is, a girl is her dad's princess, and they can do no wrong before their fathers, and vice versa. So kids know how to capitalize on that parent. They can get away with some things. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Chidi.
Okay, so I want to share my screen just to address that. You can see this one is good cop, this one is bad cop. They are pulling in different directions, so it can never work. So, we're talking about family board meeting. When you have that situation, then you need to call for parental board meeting, father mother board meeting, because the parents are setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah.
Because if the daughter knows that she can get away with anything, she'll always go to the bad cop and then get away with it. So we must align ourselves and pull in the same direction. And that can also snowball into something else in the family. Because what it means is that the mother is storing the resentment resulting from all those things. One day to blow up.
Yep.
So the mother needs to speak up and ensure that they have that discussion before it gets out of hand, before it gets into, apart from the impact on the child, the impact on the relationship as well. So it's something that they need to call a parental board meeting to ensure that they know their values and are aligned in driving those training their children to be driven by those values. Because ideally, if they are yoked together under the same value bond, then they should move in the same direction, and the daughter should not be taking advantage of the father maybe being the father's preferential child. So that's just what I want to say on that one. To address the previous question, just one line. I think there's something that IG has been repeating. The parents might be the people that need to change. Just to add to what you answered about the one about uniqueness of your children. There are many resources out there. You can go and read up. So parents should also grow as their children are growing.
Yeah.
Because you can't remain static while the children are developing. And if you don't learn things about parenting, you use 1960 technique to raise your children in 2025. So the parents need to grow as well.
Honestly.
There are so many resources that can help parents to grow and how to deal with children. I'll leave the one of a friend and parent to use it to answer. Or
I knew that. Okay.
Yeah, I was already going to hop on that as well. And
Right.
just quickly too, yes, a parent can. If I'm thinking this person didn't meet the first session where I handled, because
Yeah.
I mentioned how you can be different things. Parenting roles shifts.
Yes.
What's the way you're handling a 0 to 3 year person is not how you're going to handle a 10 to 12. And simply, yes, you can be a friend. What we're saying is that, or what Pastor Louis was saying is that you are not a friend in the sense that when you want to administer the authority that you have as a parent,
Yeah.
you cannot begin to diminish to say, I'm a friend, now let's go. Can we take shawarma together? No, the boundaries are the boundaries. You put down your feet as a parent and say what needs to be done. But you need to be a friend at different points of their life. And what that means is that you become approachable. You don't become judgmental. I'm listing because to be a friend is just ambiguous. You become approachable. You don't become judgmental. You're able to keep the secrets.
Yep.
It's not that they came to the voice chasing me or this one, and I say, hey, what is happening? I have lost it all. No, that person cannot come again. Be approachable when something is happening, like, I need to see my mom now. Somebody's calling, said, no, I need to go home. I need to see my mom. I need to speak to my dad. So don't become judgmental to when you now hear the thing, you're not carrying your head and be saying, this thing never happened. This thing could never happen. How? No. So, and also make the home safe. Home is not a place you visit, it's a place you come. Anybody battered outside should be able to raise with the last strength, even if you're falling, and know that if I can fall in front of my house, no matter what I have done, my dad, my mom will take me in. So if your home is not yet at that point where it is a safety nest, where your daughter don't mind, no matter how battered, your son doesn't mind, then you need to do some more work. Home should be a place to run to, no matter how battered. And that's always my measurement test for myself. If the children cannot say, oh, I have to go home now, it means we have not gotten it right. So make the home friendly and let them come home. Be approachable.
Psychological safety in the home.
Yeah.
I always like to bring it out. Psychological safety in the home is very key, and that's what Coach Isi is trying to say. Our children should always be welcome back home. Moreover, Jesus always welcomes us back. Why would we? I always say that when we understand the depth of the unconditional love of the Father, we will love effectively both to our fellow humans and even to our children. And there is something I want to point out very quickly. If we tend to be so nice to other people's children, because we tend to do that sometimes as parents. We tend to be understanding to other people's children. We tend to listen to other people's children. We tend to feel like we know what should have been done in the case of other children when it comes to their parenting and their mistakes. But then when it comes to our children, we turn it upside down and believe that we must be exerting that kind of authority and shouting and things like that. Then it doesn't work that way. The same respect we are called to other people's children, we should also first of all think about our own children in our own homes. Very important. So psychological safety. And I also think what Coach Isi is saying, be friendly You're not their friend, but you should be friendly to your children. So act friendly.
Exactly.
That's the word. Act friendly to them, not necessarily be their friends. All right. They should always come back. Psychological safety. It is very, very important. Hope is not a place to visit, but a place in, yes, even if I go with all this, but my day is made today. Exactly. Hope
Yes.
is not a place to visit, but a place you come back to. Because a lot
Yes.
of children, this point is really important, Coach. You say a lot of children go out, make mistakes, they feel they can't come back again because of the judgment. But we have to make sure that our children can come back and our children can come back and ask questions. Like something that we also tell our children all the time: no question is out of line. Nothing is out of line. No question is stupid. Nothing, even if you're quenching inside, just hold your quench and all those things and maintain a demeanor that is welcoming and that is safe.
I'm sorry, IJ. This also adds up to the issue of having suicide after exams.
Exactly, ideations.
Well,
Yeah.
that means there's some pressure coming from the parents to
Yeah.
say you must be the number one, you
Yeah.
must be first position, you must be this,
Exactly.
so you must get 400. So when that child
Exactly.
doesn't have it, the child wants to go and commit suicide. The child wants to run away. Why? Why?
Exactly.
It's the only place he or she has in life, the
Exactly.
home.
Yeah.
Please let's make it safe and loving for them.
Amen. All right. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go around and just give us 30 seconds to give us our closeout, and then we take announcements from our convener, and then we'll wrap it up and call it a day. We've done so well, I'm sure, by the special grace of God, and this has been impactful. So very quickly, 30 seconds. I will start with, who will I start with? Pastor Olubumi. No, let me start with Coach Yusi. Go ahead. Your 30 seconds. Do you
I'm
want
not
to
sure
meet
if
your
you got what you said.
Oh, I
Pastor,
said so to wrap up effectively, I would like to go around for us to take 30 seconds and give us our closeout thoughts on today. So I'm starting with you.
Pastor Lupin, are you there?
I'm
Yes,
starting with
I
you,
am
Coach
here.
Lucy. Don't
Okay,
worry.
okay, ma.
She's there. I'm starting with you, Coach Lucy.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yes, I'm sure you didn't
Now,
get it. Yeah.
let me because I'm taking an announcement. So let me
Then you
come.
take it later. All right, that's fine. Pastor Lubimi, please.
Yes, I just want once again I want to appreciate God for this thing that we've had, but I would like to close with like a story. Yeah, especially in this area that we're talking about, being friends, your children. Like something happened when my son was about, as you are learning the traits about your children, as you're learning their personality, that they need to learn about you as well.
Yes.
They will know what my mom can take. They will know what my mom cannot take, what my mom can manage, what my mom cannot manage. Same thing with their father. So when the moment he came with the person that he wants to marry, do you know, I just had all I was doing every day was just weeping. And I was always just arguing. When they see someone, I would just argue, my friend had to come to me and say, Mom, I know you are going to feel this way. My friend's mother too had the same experience. The fear that somebody else is taking us away. So that's the way you put it, that you're afraid that my wife is going to take you away from me. So that's why you are being edgy. That's why you are being this. But you know what? Can I tell my friend's mom to talk? I
Oh,
was
can
I was shocked. Didn't talk to his mom for them to tell me that yes, they passed through this route too, and this is how to. What I'm trying to bring out in this my story is that you get to a stage that you will need your children, you will need their counsel. They are the ones that will help you. Because we used to think that as parents we have all the power, all the I mean, but it gets to a stage that you just find out that you are as weak, or you are, I don't know, as maybe how you think that they, but now they are more experienced in one way or the other, especially in handling and all the rest of it. So, and you know what got to that stage is, what have you put in them? What are the values that you have released with the help of God into their lives? Because that is what is now informing what is happening now.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma, for that. That is so poignant. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences as always and for being vulnerable. Wow, thank you so much for that. Our children later become our even advisors or people who give us their own point of view. And it depends on how we work with them or raise them. All right, over to you, Mr. Chidi. Your closeout, 10 seconds.
So I'll go back to this slide. So it's for us to, my closeout is just for us to know our values and then repeat them again to our children. Talk about it when we're at home, when we're on the road, when you're going to bed, and when you're getting up. We cannot overemphasize this. Consistency and patience with driving our values into the life of our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. That was just straight to the point. Consistency is always king and key in everything that we do. Thank you so much, Mr. Chidi. And just before I bring up the convener, because we are wrapping up very shortly, I want to say a very big thank you to our speakers. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much for a wonderful time. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And as we reflect, we have heard a lot of things centered on role modeling, centered on ensuring that we live out the life we want our children to also emulate. And I would love for us to continue to do that. It creates a legacy that will live for, and that's the goal. So to take away, it will be, we should not teach us, we should by them. That's life that will influence generations. It's been an honor to be your host and moderator for today. And as we draw to a close, I want to say thank you to the convener, Coach UC, our speakers, Pastor Lubimi and Mr. Chiden, every one of you for being part of this great gathering today. All right, so over to you, Coach UC, for your thank yous, closeout, announcements, and the rest of it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so very much. It's been an awesome time together today, and I won't even lie. So before I start saying anything, I have a feedback form in the chat box. Please fill it so that we can know how you felt with this session today. And a big thank you to everyone. So just click on the form so that you can tell us. So I want to make a quick announcement before I say the final thank you to everyone. So a few weeks before now, when we were doing our countdown, we had a guess and win promo. And some people were able to guess who the speakers will be. Although I think it was some form of expo, because the one that they won was a convener's picture. And I feel it's because you see the convener every day. But today has proven the fact that even though you didn't know the speakers before now, but they have been a huge blessing from morning till this, from the time we started to this point. And I'm sure you agree with me. So sometimes it's not about the pictures or you knowing the people beforehand, but trusting and believing that they will be able to deliver. So we have one person, the person who won the Guess Win promo, and by name, Susan Eric Isowo. She was the one who got that. And I did mention that we have a beautiful prize for the winner. And I'll be unraveling that prize in just a jiffy. And then we have the one about who knows Lagos well, because the headquarters for Lifepoint Overseas is in Lagos. And then we have someone who won the whole of that location, got how it was displayed, and by name Bola Odunowo. Congratulations, Susan and Bola, for coming up tops in this. And shortly, you'll be hearing what your award is. So before then, this is Lifepoint Overseas. Everything you see today was powered by Lifepoint Overseas, and that's the future where we're going to. And so thank you, because I know in Lifepoint, we believe that you deserve the support, guidance, and community. What you're seeing today is just the tip of the iceberg of what goes on in Lifepoint and what the future of Lifepoint Overseas is going to. Sincerely, 2026 holds a lot. And so this is what we do. We offer more than just an advice. We empower you to become a solution to your family challenges. We were able to do something under 3 hours, but look at what you're going to enjoy if you become a member of Lifepoint Overseas. Now, this today marks more like the end of Lifepoint with UC. In handing this, we're moving over to Lifepoint Overseas, who will give you exclusive access to expert-led masterclasses, have personalized parenting roadmap. We're going to be having monthly live Q&A sessions, just like what we have here every month. We'll be able to do that. Access to parenting resource. Chidi talked about resource, and it's very, very important. Community support. And then tools for building your family legacy, access to family building activities, and discounted events and workshops. I belong to an industry also. So when they're having events, instead of charging the millions, if you're going to come with my code, it will attract some discount for you. And so whether you're a coupled parent, single parent, hoping to start a family soon, this group is for you. And trust me, you are in the right place and in the safe place. We have delivered this for consistently now 3 years. And to join this community, this is what you're going to have. So we're moving to a paid membership. That is why we outlined all of those benefits. And that will be from 2026. And going forward, this is how it's going to be. So, but then I looked at this. We had a conversation around this, looked at what we're doing, my team and I, and we weighed everything, and it was about 150,000 for a membership to get all of this. It wasn't even enough. But someone whom I'll be unveiling probably later on, sometime next year, who stood up and said, no, I would rather be a part of this to have people make it affordable and accessible to people to belong to this, because it has been a blessing to me. We should put it at 1,000 to be a member of this. And while we were on that, he said one more thing. If you registered for this conference, if you registered and you're in the registered group, for the sake that you were in this group today and you registered, we would give it to you at 50,000. But anybody who did not register and who is not in that registered group, it remains 70,000 for membership and then 50,000 if you registered. And for the people who want today, Susan, Eric, Isowo, and Bola Odunawa, you have a 5% discount to become members of this group. And it's not transferable. It has to be you, and not that you're going to give it to someone else. So that will be the mark of announcement today. And we're trusting that the future of Lifepoint Overseas is great because of what God has told us will be taking place in this place. I have been in this business and this industry for time to become more visible, because I think that what God has committed in my hands is working, and it's time for people to access it and become a blessing in this generation. So on that note, I will be saying that I look forward to working with you all at Lifepoint Overseas. And now, just to say a big thank you, I want to play this video to say a big thank you to everyone who has been here this morning.